Hey guys, what's up? Some Short Guy here. This video today is just my roundup of the summer version of London Film and Comic Con, which was last month at Olympia in London. Done a little vlog video. I was just showing what the actual event was like, but I'm just going to talk about the guests I met, how I felt the show went, stuff I got signed, just my whole experience of the weekend really. I went for 2 days, so I went Saturday and I went Sunday. Didn't meet as many guests as I normally do, because there's only a few I wanted to meet this year, but the ones I met were really cool, had some really great experiences with them, so I just thought I'd just do a video on it just to show you what it was like. Got my little folder here, just got all my stuff in. So I'll just get started. So I'll go through like obviously my photo ops I got done, and then obviously I'll talk about the guests at a time, and then just take it from there really. These are my diamond passes that I had. That was Tom Bonin and Amber Rose River. First one up was the main reason I wanted to go to LFCC this year, was to meet this guy, Tom Bonin, aka Clark Kent from Smallville, like definitive Superman for me. He doesn't do conventions of like, well, he started doing conventions like the last year or so he started doing a few. So when I heard he was announced for London, I was like, well, that's it, gotta go, gotta meet Clark Kent. Got my photo up with him, which is pretty dope, and I had quite a laugh with him as well, which is awesome. But that's the first one I did on Saturday. This was like 10:30, my photo. Went and queued up for it and then had my photo with him. So I was wearing the Batman Superman t-shirt there, and then like shook my hand and was like, Batman sucks bro, and I was like, Superman all away, and that was quite funny, so that was quite a good little interaction I had. And then he like sort of gave me a high five as I walked away. Then I got to go to his panel as well, which is part of the Diamond Pass, and that was like a paid talk, so you wasn't allowed to film anything in there, but you could take pictures and stuff. So I got to go to the talk, which was cool, just sort of hearing about his experience on Smallville. And I got to actually ask him a question, which was quite good, because normally I don't ask questions at panels, but obviously Smallville for me was like a massive thing growing up. Like that was the reason I got into like Superman and the superhero sort of TV shows. So I was quite interested to ask him a question. So I asked him, on your last day filming of Smallville, like what was your reaction, what was your experience? And he gave me a really cool answer, because normally people ask questions like, oh, what's your favourite episode, or what do you like plan about the character, but I sort of like to hear about the behind the scenes stuff and the actual filming aspect. So yeah, I just asked him like, you know, what was your last memory when you filmed that final scene of Smallville, and his answer was really detailed. He was basically said that it was a bit of a surreal feeling knowing that you spent 10 years filming, you know, getting involved into a character that becomes like second nature. And then he said that when that last cut went, they sort of just cleared the stage out, and then it was like, right, that's it, it's a series wrap, we've got to get ready for the next show. And he sort of like, it was a bit bizarre knowing that quick, that's how television moves. But he did say that when he was filming Smallville, like he put, you know, his heart and soul into Clark Kent, and like obviously he mentioned that he never wanted to put on the Superman suit, because it was more about this kid trying to find out who he is, realise that he's got a bigger potential than just a farm boy. And then he talked about like when he was actually filming it, like they did one scene where he's on a harness, and like they did 2 takes of it because it was the last shot they were going to get of like him as becoming Superman. Well, that was pretty cool, and the whole time he sort of looked at me directly, like he didn't look away, so that was quite cool. And then I went back for another photo shoot, which I'll show you in a bit. He sort of remembered me from that, so that was pretty cool. In terms of signing, obviously, as you guys know, I'm an avid pop collector, so I got the Clark Kent Smallville pop. Kind of annoying, because when I met Michael Rosenbaum last year, I wished I had it now, because I would have got Lex Luthor signed. Yeah, he signed my Smallville pop in the red pen, just because I felt like it had to be done. So that's probably like one of my favourite signed ones I got, actually, just because it's like, you know, Smallville and that. I've been rewatching Smallville lately as well, and sort of rediscovering my love for the show again. That was definitely a highlight, meeting him, just because like Smallville, that was from my teenage years. I remember when that show finished, I was a bit like, oh crap, like it was done. That was probably one of my highlight moments of the weekend, just meeting Tom Bonin. I got to meet him a few times, so that was pretty cool, and then he did like sort of recognise me, so that was quite nice to have. So that was the first guest I met. The next one I met is Rose McIver. If a lot of you guys watch iZombie, she plays Livia Moore. I always didn't recognise her, because obviously in iZombie she's always got the makeup and the wig and stuff on, but yeah, she was really lovely to talk to, and she sort of introduced herself to everyone in the shoot. I like shook her hand, which was quite nice. And then I went back to her table after, because I wanted to get a pop sign. And obviously again, I had to get the iZombie one sign. Bought this case, don't buy this case because it's shit. Like honestly, that lid kept falling off, so that was a waste of 10 quid. Yeah, so I got that signed in the red. And then she put like, it's been lovely to meet you, Rose McIver. Obviously, that was the exclusive pop as well, because that's the only one I could find. I was trying to get like one of the other ones on the back, but then I was like, the exclusive one, you know, it's still a great looking pop, and then the red was pretty dope. But yeah, she was lovely to talk to. because obviously I Love Island's on, being gutted there's only one more season, but problem with television shows, they don't last forever, but at least they get one more go around of it. I said to her, like, I think it's one of like the most original ideas on TV, and I love the show, love how the characters developed, and then she was quite really humble about it and like said, oh thank you, well we're gonna, you know, go out of a bang, this is our last series. Hopefully Netflix pick it up because they did Lucifer, but if we've got one more season then they're gonna make it an awesome season. So meeting her, she was really cool. Honestly, don't buy that box, it's crap. The next one I met was Amber Rose Weather. If you guys have seen Punisher, she plays like Agent Madolly, the FBI agent. I've got my photo of her. She was like awesome. Obviously, I bought that Punisher t-shirt before I got the shoot, so she sort of done this pose, and I was like, that's pretty dope. So that was cool to have. I didn't have anything to get signed really, so I just got a print at the table that she signed for me. And obviously that's her character from Punisher, and then she caught her out a cool little personalisation. Thanks for watching the show. She was awesome because like I didn't realise that she was English, so when I went up to her table after, I was like, oh crap, you're actually English. Like I was like, you do a really good American accent. And I was going to spend a good like 10 minutes talking to her about the show and that. And I said like, obviously Punisher's probably one of my favourite of the Netflix ones, like close to Daredevil. And then she was talking about like filming, and she was like, she had a few bruises from like the fight scenes and that, and I was like Johnny Bernthal. We had a little joke about that, which was pretty cool. She was lovely to talk to, and she was quite humble as well, and I was like, you know, good luck with the show, can't wait for season 2. And then obviously went back for the photo later. But yeah, she was probably one of my top moments meeting as well, just because like not many people knew who she was. I was like, unless you're into their shows, you're not gonna hire her. But she was like one of my best experiences there, just because I got to speak ages with her, which was quite nice, and there was no one behind me in the queue either, so that was pretty cool. Next one. Oh yeah, this is a funny story, this one. So I got a picture of Tom Welling that day, but then he done the duo photo with John Snyder, who was Jonathan Kent, or if you're the Dukes of Hazzard, OG. So I had to get that one done. This was later on in the afternoon, and what was cool was like, when it was my turn to get my photo, like obviously Tom, he must have recognised me, because he went to me, oh that was a really good question in the queue, like sort of made me think outside the box. So that was pretty cool. And then we just having a bit of like talking about that, and then John was pretty cool, like I was shook my hand and that. And then just as I got my photo taken, Tom went to me, he was like, so we're in a fight, Justice League or Star Wars? And I was like, Justice League? He went, really? I went, dude, you got Superman, you got Martian Manhunter. And he was like, yeah, I am Superman, I would kick the Jedi's ass. So that was quite cool as well. And then we just had a bit of a laugh about it, and sort of John Snyder was looking a bit like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm gonna laugh anyway, so that was quite funny. But yeah, it was cool that he, like, Tom actually remembered me. And then we just had like sort of little nerd off chat there, because that was pretty funny. So that was just kind of one of those moments that was like, you know, could have put a price on it. So that's like, I remember for a while. I actually met John Snyder later on at his table on the Sunday. I got his autograph, because I went to the Go-To's panel as well. And on it he was like, that's it Ben, always hold on to Smallville. John Snyder, Jonathan Kent. I went to his panel on Sunday, and he was talking about like filming Smallville and how it was like one of those once in a lifetime sort of shows. And then I went back to his table and I said, like, I still think his version of Jonathan Kent, for me personally, my opinion, is one of like the best ones we've seen. I mean, Kevin Costner was great in Man of Steel, but I think because he was on the show for like 5 seasons, he sort of built up a sort of rapport, and then you sort of associated him with Jonathan Kent. And like when they killed him off, that was like a horrible episode. But he then came back for an episode later on in the show where he gave Clark like the Superman suit, and it was like one of those things that would just work for the show. But I said to him, like, you know, what was your reaction when you knew you were getting killed off? And he was like, well, I'm sort of heartbroken. He said because he loved working with Tom Welling, and he said like Smallville, like, holds a special place in his heart, like it does for most fans, like including myself. So that was cool to sort of talk to him about that. And then I mentioned about obviously Dukes of Hazzard, because like I wasn't around when the show aired, but I watched it in reruns, and I said to him, like, you know, I wanted to be like one of the Dukes, because like the car itself, the General Lee, was just like, oh mate, so cool. And then he like signed that, and they got to have a selfie with him as well, which is pretty cool, because he was giving out free selfies. So I got a selfie with like him and Lucy, so that was quite cool. Meeting him was like kind of like a childhood dream, I guess. The next one I met was Serena Vincent. I missed out meeting her a few years ago. Obviously she played the Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. She's been in a few like horror films as well, but she played mine, so that was kind of like a childhood thing, meeting her as well, just because like, see, when I was a kid I did watch a lot of Power Rangers, and Lost Galaxy was one of my favourite like versions of the show as well. And then I went back to her table on a Sunday to like have a chat with her, and then got her autograph as well, like in her Yellow Ranger outfit. she's done a really cool personalisation. And then like she took a few selfies with me as well, which was nice because she didn't have to do that. And then I had a nice little chat with her, talking about the show and like what she's doing these days. Hope she enjoyed the weekend. So she was lovely to talk to as well. This guy, I didn't get anything signed by him, but my friend Lucy went to his sign table, so I got to talk to him then. But I got a photo with Zachary Levi, who's just been announced as Shazam for the DC universe. So that was funny as shit, man. Like, because I remember in the photo shoot he was sort of like being like really cool, and he was just like, you know, saying thanks to everyone for coming along. So that's why I was sort of like, oh my god, it's Shazam! And then went back to his table like on the Sunday. I didn't get anything signed by him, but I got to have a chat with him, like, and he was really nice because he was actually asked questions like, oh, like, who you here to meet, how you enjoying your weekend, like, what else are you playing for Comic Con, which is quite unusual because sometimes the guests don't really interact that way. And he had like a little speaker playing with music, so that was pretty dope. And the fact he took that much of an interest in like the fans to actually ask them what they were doing, so he was definitely a highlight up there. Just the fact that he wanted to know, like, you know, who he wanted to be, because he's like a fan himself. He said there was actors there and he was a bit starstruck, like, so it's quite cool actually leveling with him on that level, and they're not just like a celebrity. So he was definitely a moment for me as well. Just wish I got something signed by him, but it's why it works sometimes at these events. Oh yeah, this one I had to get just because it's freaking awesome. But the original Dukes of Hazzard cast were there, so you got Tom Wolpat, Catherine Brack and John Snyder, and I had to get my picture with them and General Lee just because I love that car and the show. So that was pretty cool. I had to have my photo taken a few times though, because apparently I blinked, but I didn't notice it. But yeah, they were really cool, and like they both shook my hand, and like Catherine gave me a kiss on the cheek and stuff, so that was like quite nice. And they were just fun as well. And there was a lot of people queuing for that. I didn't think that was going to be one of the popular photo shoots, but yeah, that was just a nice little memento to get that done as well. And then my next one was Arthur Darvill, who a lot of you guys will know from Doctor Who, but for me obviously he's Rip Hunter in DC Legends of Tomorrow. Cool meeting him because I was meant to go to Wales in December to meet him, but I can't go now, so it's because it's like too close to Christmas stuff. But I got my season 1 Legends of Tomorrow box set signed by him. It's in the blue, which is pretty cool. And I just said to him, like, you know, I hope you come back for season 4, and he was like, oh, me too. He's like, because I have a lot of fun working on the show. And he was just like a really cool guy to talk to, because a lot of people were there for Doctor Who, and he was like, this is the first Legends of Tomorrow thing I've signed this weekend. So I thought, oh, that's pretty cool that he sort of took notice that much. And I said to him, you know, I love Legends. I thought his character arc's been really great, consistent, and I said, like, hopefully we see you again. And he was like, oh, me too. He's like, you know, enjoy the rest of your weekend, thanks for coming to like see me. So that was pretty chill. He was a cool guy. And then this is my last photo op. This guy was a G, because I've always met him before, but I've never had the chance because he's like a popular guest among fans. But I got to meet Ray Park. It was Darth Maul in Star Wars, Phantom Menace, and obviously he was Toad in X-Men, and he's been in G.I. Joe. But that was so cool because like he wanted to do like all these martial arts parties, but a lot of fans didn't want to. But he was like, oh, do you want to do a pose? I was like, yeah, man. Hit me. So that was my pose with him, because I'd been trying all weekend to meet him, and like I was like, oh, this is not gonna happen, but I managed to get my Darth Maul pop sign. I'm freaking pissed though, because my box got crushed, so I'm a bit annoyed that happened. He really personalised the crap out of the box, like, so that's what he put there, and then he wrote that cool message on the side, and it says, train hard and enjoy it, you got it, 100%. And then obviously he's done a little smiley face. Well, that's the damage on the box. I'm pissed, man. But I'm gonna try and fix that. But it was cool because like the reason it took me so long to meet him was because he was really taking time with his fans, sort of like how Josh Segarra was at Heroes and Villains. And because I was queuing for a good half an hour to meet him. And then when it was my turn, he done a talk on Saturday night. He martial arts display and like Jedi choreography. So he got a few of us on stage to like do some like lightsaber moves with him. So that was pretty cool. Like unfortunately I couldn't film it because obviously I was up there and I was on my own. But I had to go like a double-ended lightsaber, so I did a few like moves with him and I sort of rotated it as well. So that was cool. And then I said to him like I thought that was really inspiring talk that he done. And then I was talking to him about like obviously the type of martial arts he does, training, how I think like Phantom Menace has still got one of the best lightsaber fights in all of Star Wars. And then he was sort of just going on talking about what it was like filming with like Ian McGregor and Liam Neeson. So that was pretty cool. And then I said to him like, obviously I follow a lot of his training regimes he does on Instagram and that, and like I told him like I go to the gym a lot. And he was just giving me like tips and pointers, which was cool. And then I said to him like, you know, it's like hero of mine, so I was like honoured to meet you, and he was really humble and that, and like he shook my hand and that. And he gave me a hug as well. And he signed my Darth Maul. But it was like one of those moments that like did not disappoint, because like a lot of the bigger guests you don't get as long, but with him he like made time for every single fan to to try and give him that experience, and it was worth the long wait just because I had a really cool interaction with him. I walked away with like this biggest smile on my face, and then when I saw like the pop, I was like, because he wrote a message on there and I was like, he didn't have to do that, so that was really cool. And like I sort of freaked out. I'm just gutted that the fucking box broke, honestly, but I'm gonna try and fix that. These shitty pop protectors, like it like broke. Fucking piece of crap. There, I'm gonna fix that. It was like absolutely freaking hectic though at LFCC, because I think they must have oversold tickets, because like Saturday you could not move, like straight up you couldn't move, and I was like just trying to walk around the floor where the celebrities were, like Jesus Christ man, like you couldn't get anywhere. So I think that's something that they'll have to look at, because obviously the more tickets you sell, the more bodies. I mean, there must have been, I don't know, 22,000 people at that event, so for a convention in the UK, that's quite a big number. And it sort of showed, because like just trying to get up and down the stairs between floors was just like, it's one of the more popular ones because it's got a bigger selection of guests. Like you got your film and TV, there's cosplayers, there's comic artists, there's literally loads. So it's definitely one of the higher demand ones, that's why there's 3 days of it. But it was overall, it was a really great weekend. I mean, I was tired as shit after because the trains were like screwed up. Thanks TFL, as usual. But like the interactions I got to have with the actors and that was really cool. I had some really great photo ops, just cool interactions with the guests in there as well. So I got to see cool panels as well. And obviously got to hang out with my friend Lucy, and we had quite a laugh as well, because she had some serious fangirl moments. I had some fanboy moments, which you'll see in the vlog video that I'll put up. That was quite cool. The only thing with it, I just think the organisation was a lot better this year, but I still think there's little tweaks they could do to improve it. But overall, it was like just an awesome weekend. Like there's memories that I've made that I'll never forget, and obviously I've got all those cool photos and the autographs as well. But yeah, just really great weekend. I mean, I was tired as hell for a good few days because I was getting like after long days. I was out for like 12 hours a day. Obviously, you can check out the vlog I uploaded before this, and that's gonna just show you what the event was like itself. A lot of cool stuff there though. Like the stands are always cool. There's lots of cool swag to buy. I didn't buy it as much. Like I bought the Punisher t-shirt. I didn't really get time to shop around. LFCC is one of my favourite ones, just because it's got like more of the stuff I like the film and TV side of it. The reason I went was because obviously Tom Welling was there for Smallville. But it was a really awesome weekend. I mean, like the volunteers are great as always. The problem is, I go to so many conventions now, like, and obviously because me and Lucy tend to go together, I'm starting to get recognised by actual volunteers, you know. Oh, that's bad when you get recognised by volunteers and not the other way around. But that's quite cool, because then like we was trying to get through a queue, they sort of like get us through, which is quite handy to do, especially because like some of the queues were long. The problem is, with some of the guests, they had all like the big guests together and then maybe a few small ones in the middle, so like you had a lot of the Doctor Who guys there, and I was like, it just doesn't work really. So overall, it was a great weekend. Had a really awesome time. Just sort of going through the photos and talking about my experiences makes you relive it all over again. I had a really great time, memories that I'll never forget there. And then I've got some, obviously my pops are signed and that, and it's just cool just to look on my shelf all signed. It's just like, it's a pretty cool feeling as well. And obviously getting to meet people I've looked up to for years as a kid is just quite a cool thing. Can't put a price on really. Yeah, that was my roundup of London Film Comic Con Summer 2018. Hope you enjoyed the video guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and stay tuned for more convention coverage, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Woo! Oh man, honestly I could do this shit for hours. Look, it's just the mechanics on it are so damn good.
I just wanted to tell you how much what you said.
Yeah, sometimes I get carried away doing that. Because what's cool is when you're swinging, you can like do all these tricks and stuff, which gets you extra experience. Oh, sick! It's got a trophy. What do I get a trophy for? Oh, that was purely that was purely accidental. I just got a trophy for doing 4 unique tricks before landing. Alright, cool. I ain't gonna say no to that. I'm hands down gonna play this game, just saying.